There's a statistic out there that says something along the lines of around 70%. When church get to 70% capacity, they start to decline for the simple reason that it becomes difficult for people of a family of five, so to speak, to sit with each other, to find enough seats available. There's just a whole lot of barriers that way. And so you constantly see churches, that are trying to accommodate by building larger spaces or getting more a bigger parking lot or whatever. The same in some regards is true with a micro church, but a little bit different. It's not like when you have 70% of your living room full, people can't sit together and then will leave. But what that does mean is when you start to get too large, people start to not be able to share their input during points, and it starts to get where it just breaks down. Your small gathering becomes a little bit too large. Now, at what number that is kind of as unique as the group that makes it up, because some groups will have, maybe more boisterous, more people that like to share their mind and are harder to reel in than others. And some groups have a lot of people that just don't open up as much. So it's as unique as the group is. But quite often, 12 is a very good number to think of. Jesus had the 12 disciples, and he operated obviously as our model and very successful in that model, working with the 12. I like to shoot for right around that number. You can get larger, especially if you're blessed with a space that accommodates it. If you are blessed with a space that accommodates more than 12, I would say shoot for that, because then you're really setting up your group multiplication to succeed. Because if you have 20, let's say you get to 25, well, when you divide up, if you did it evenly or close to evenly, you'd have 13 and 12, and that's good sizes there. Now, if you are at 12 and you're maxed out already and you try to divide, you're kind of in danger zone, because you're looking at 6 and 6. And then if some people, leave during the winter for a couple months, and you're down to 5 or 4, and it's just hard. And then if you invite people, there's not enough people there, and it feels kind of awkward. So there's some factors at play there. But what you want to do with group multiplication is right from the beginning, talk about the importance of this not being a closed group, not being a clique that forms, that we have this calling. And a lot of this comes in the teachings, especially early on, about our calling, what our mission is, what Jesus laid out, and how we are supposed to invite, how things change from a come and see orientation, the glory of God with one people group, to a go and tell and share the good news and invite and bring people in. So creating that culture right away, if everybody focuses on one, if you start with 10 in your group, let's say, and everybody brings one into the group, you're at 20, you're ready to divide. But don't just think that, I've got one, so I stop, because there's going to be some that struggle with that. There's going to be some that are more natural and gifted in that area and bring 2 or 3 or 4. But you have to have this to be purposeful and a reminder, and pray for this, for growth, and pray for opportunities to invite that we see and we respond. It has to be intentional, or it can very quickly be closed off. Events are great ways of inviting, because a lot of times it's too scary to just step into someone's living room and we're talking about the Bible, and the thing that I feel like I don't know anything about is the Bible, and I don't know any of these people. Have an event you can invite them to. Get them to know people in the group, so when they come to your first setting, man, they really feel comfortable because they already know the people that are there. And so instruct or teach in such a way that this next event that we're doing, we're all inviting one person to go bowling with us, to get to know the group, and we're using these as an opportunity, as a foot in the door for them to start that building the relationship, so they come to the group and they feel comfortable and they stay. So group multiplication is so important, because it's not just about our group. We're thinking of the church as a church universal. We're thinking about how this can grow and expand, and how we can reach communities that we can't physically get to, because maybe it's too far, or we don't work in that or live in that area. And this can just really grow. And this is how the church did grow in Acts chapter 2.